What's going on, guys? Hey, we're going to be looking at oyster mushrooms today, and I actually found a flush in my yard. It's hard to believe, but they're here. They are wild mushrooms, so if you're interested in that, stick around. Check that out. How awesome are these? Look at these guys. There's some over there. How about that, man? Pleurotus austratus, the oyster mushroom. And this mushroom fruits in the fall. You can actually find it in the summertime as well, but the summer oyster mushrooms are different than the fall mushrooms or the winter mushrooms. You can find the oyster mushroom just about any time of year. The ones in the summer, though, they tend to be a lot more white than this. I mean, look at this guy. It's definitely got the kind of an almond color to it, maybe a light brown, we'll call it, maybe cream color. It's definitely oyster mushrooms, and if you look, it's kind of a kidney shape. Let me see if I can get you a better view of that. It's kind of a kidney shaped mushroom, and it also has, like, right back in here, you can see how it's kind of depressed right back in here on the back side of each mushroom, a little depressed. I believe depression is the word you're searching for. They're not a sad little flush of mushrooms. Look at that. Little depression right through there. Not much of that. And if you look, let's go ahead, let's get right here and let's pull this one if I can. I'll try to pull that off without tearing it up. Actually, it looks like it's not gonna work. Oh, there we go. You can see there's really not much of a stem. It's more like especially compare it to my finger size. I mean, this is tiny right here, but you definitely can tell that it doesn't have a stem. It's really more of a, just a little bump right there, right in there. And if I pull this back, the gills run from the outside edge all the way down, all the way. So that's going to be one of the key features of this particular mushroom. As we look around at these other ones here, also take note on how it kind of rolls right over. Just kind of rolls over a little bit, just a little bend to it. And some of them aren't doing that yet, but they will. Look at this one right there. Very cool. Let's pull this one back and see if we can see. There's absolutely no gills. No stem. It is a gilled mushroom. It's not a polypore. We can clearly see that. I'm trying to do this without tearing up the mushroom. Very cool, man. You can find these actually growing with a stem. It does happen from time to time, but typically it's going to be on top of the log. It's going to be flushing out on top of the log, or maybe a root or something like that. That's when you'll see it'll have just your, we'll call it a typical mushroom appearance, just coming straight up, has a stem or a stalk, but still the gills will continue to run straight up the stalk and all the way out to the outer margins. All right, what about lookalikes? Everybody's always asking that. What about lookalikes? Well, when it comes to oyster mushrooms, I can really only think of one, and that would be angel wings. But here's the thing about angel wings. Angel wings only grow on conifers, and typically hemlocks. That's where you primarily find them. The oyster mushroom will grow on conifers, keep that in mind, but it's very few and far between. So when it comes to the conifer trees, if I come across what I believe is an oyster mushroom, I just avoid it altogether if it's on a conifer. It just makes sense to me. I don't want to eat an angel wing, and I'll tell you why. And this is the crazy thing. There's a lot of contradiction out there in the mushroom world. You can get online and find recipes for eating angel wings. And literally right underneath it, you can also find where people have died from eating angel wings. So I'm choosing not to participate. When it comes to the conifers, just avoid them. That way you're safe. The oyster mushroom typically, where you typically will find it, will be on, mixed hardwoods. And in this case, it's a tulip poplar. So anyway, I hope that helps you just to, ease your mind in terms of finding the oyster mushroom when it comes to the lookalikes or poisonous lookalikes. Just stay away from the conifers. See if we can get this off without getting on off of there. Yes, and also notice how they grow in shelf-like clusters. I mean, look at that. So when I'm cutting it off, it's almost as if I might tear a few of these. That's okay. Look at that. How beautiful is that? I mean, this is the same mushroom that you're going to find in the grocery store in terms of, the oyster mushroom, obviously. It's been cultivated for years. In fact, it actually first was cultivated, I think, in Germany around, I want to say 1914 or 15, somewhere in there. So it's been a while. And now they cultivate this and distribute it everywhere on the planet. So very cool. But this one's wild. We like that. Look at these guys. Beautiful. Let's do, look at there, it looks like a squirrel or something got a hold of that one. We're gonna do a quick sniff test on this, and that's one of the cool things about this mushroom. Yeah, it's got its own smell. I don't think there's any other mushrooms out there that really smell like the oyster mushroom. And I'm not sure I can describe it. Sometimes I think it smells fishy, but not in a bad way. It's not it's hard to explain. It's not a bad smell. It's a pleasant smell, but it's I'm not sure. If you find these guys, definitely do a sniff test with them, because they've got their own smell, and once you start to recognize that smell and you find another flush, then you'll know. You just break it and give it a quick sniff test. You'll know whether it's an oyster or not. Yeah, awesome. Yeah. In my yard. Right on. We like that. Well, I wish all of them were in my yard. So I have to go trudging through the woods. Although that's part of the fun. That's not bad. I'll take it. Look how beautiful, and not a bad flush to find. Right off of the tulip poplar stump. I left a few on there. You can probably see, I think I got some on that side too. Did you guys hear my chickens? Look. Oh, I got some splitting to do. All right, let's take them back to the house. Right on. Oh, what are puppies doing? Well, hey, lady, what are you doing? Come here, girls. Come here. Yes. Oh, my goodness. I got both of them. What? Oh, my goodness. Don't step on the mushroom. Oh, my gosh. All right. Come on, let's go. Well, it's kind of cool. Not that far of a hike. Not a hike at all. Anyway, let's get inside, cook these bad boys up. All right, so it's the next day. When I got back to the house, all I did was clean these guys up. And all I can say is this: dry brush, dry brush, dry brush. No water. Never water with these guys. Just dry brush it, knock off any dirt and debris. I would look in between the gills for beetles. Sometimes they're in there, sometimes not. Then cut off any of the outside, or the inside edge, I should say, where it gets a little tough, a little chitiny. You can cut all that off. Just clean it up real good and you should be good to go. Now what I did was actually stored this in a paper bag, put it in the refrigerator overnight, and you're good to go. Also, strawberry containers work fantastic for this as well. Either way, paper bag, strawberry container, it'll definitely keep overnight. All right, since the mushrooms are good and clean, I'm just gonna pull them out of the paper bag, and at this point, we're ready to cut them up. All right. Now, some of these smaller pieces, you can actually, utilize them just like that. You don't need to cut them, but I'm going to go ahead and cut these guys up. The back of this one is a little tough right in there. So you just chop that off, set that off to the side. Stick these over here in the bowl. Let's get some more. Now this mushroom, the oyster mushroom, actually has a white spore print, and it can come across as a lilac color, even a gray color. But white is primarily what we're looking for when you do a spore print of these guys. You're just looking for that white. Let's cut that off. That's trash. Let's cut this. Looking good. Yeah. Yeah, let's just go ahead and cut all these guys up. That's good enough. Cut the back off of that. Throw it over there. There we go. Awesome. Okay, so first we're going to add a little butter, then a little garlic, and then we'll add our mushrooms. And, you know, just saute them. There's really nothing to it. You know, get a little golden brown texture on there. You definitely want to cook them all the way through. When it comes to wild mushrooms, you always want to cook them all the way through. We don't want to eat wild mushrooms raw. So anyway, cook them all the way through and you're good to go at that point, you know. Pull them out, give them a try. All right, let's plate these bad boys up right here real quick. Just about lost one. Let's get all the garlic and everything. Awesome, set this off to the side. All right, so let's give these bad boys a try. I'll put some garlic on there. Nice. Very good. Really good. Awesome. Man, those sauteed ones are really good. Now, excuse me. If you've never had oyster mushrooms, definitely do the sauteed, little garlic, little butter first, so you can get for the most part, the natural taste of the mushroom. And then you can get creative. Now, this is a very versatile mushroom. I mean, so you could use it really in any recipe that calls for mushrooms. I personally like to saute them, but I also like to fry them because of the almondy flavor that they can have. It's kind of weird. Sometimes they're a lot more almondy tasting. They have that almond taste, and then other times it's even mild, and sometimes it's non-existent. So, but when it is, if you fry them, man, it'll encapsulate that and bring it out. It's phenomenal. So that's what I like to do anyway. All right, so we're just gonna take a little bit of the mushroom, dredge it. Let me put a few pieces in there. There we go, that's good. I'm gonna dredge it up. All right, get it good and coated. Get that egg in there all over the place. Put it in there. Get that bowl a little closer. There we go. Awesome. Just like that. Get it nice and powdered. Hands are gnarly now. Let's do a whole piece too. Why not? Wait a minute, what's that? Gotta make sure there's no trash on there. There was. All right, there's that. Put that in there. That in there. Let's mix it up. Get it good and coated. Awesome. Very good. Coat it all up. Get it all good and coated. Look at that. Look at all that love up in there. Awesome. Yeah. Get your hands messy, right? Look at that. Yeah. It's all good. Now let's get them into the pan. Woo-wee. Nice and hot. Look at that. Woo. Right on. Oh man. Go around here and make sure I get them all right. Look at all that goodness. It smells excellent. Is that? One more, right here. Very good. Look at that. How awesome is that? Yeah, man. So we've got, you know, a few sauteed, obviously the ones we fried right there. Fantastic. All right, so let's give it a try. A little hot. Oh, that's good. That's real good. Now, when you're cooking these, you definitely want to let them crisp up. Don't undercook them. I would say probably 4 minutes on each side with this way. Maybe a little longer. You want them to be crisp. Obviously not burnt, but crisp. Now, I typically taste that almondy flavor really more in the summer mushrooms than in the fall mushrooms, but from time to time, I still pick it up. Anyway, you're definitely going to want to give this a try. Oyster mushrooms, man. Pilotus austratus. Awesome mushroom. Great fall mushroom. I would encourage you to get out and look for it. Hey, thanks for spending your time with me. Please don't forget to subscribe. Slap that like button. Knock it around. I'll talk to you.